Hi, this is Michelle with Michelle's Macarons, and today we're going to talk about the best Macaron ingredients and supplies. So, first thing you need is a scale. This is my favorite scale. This is the one I use, and I've been using it for years. I love it. Then you got your bowl. Any bowl works, whatever fits all of your ingredients. Then you need your almond flour to put in the bowl. The almond flour I like is a Kirkland brand almond flour. That's what I use now, but I've also used Honeyville. I like Honeyville, and Aldrin Brothers. I like them. Those are the three that I like. Right now, I use Kirkland from Costco. Then powdered sugar, any powdered sugar. The powdered sugar I like to use has a little bit of cornstarch in it, so I kind of look for that when I'm looking for powdered sugar, but I buy the giant bags of it at Costco. So you got those two ingredients. Then you're gonna sift that. So this is something that I have liked and I have used, but a lot of people don't like it. I have mixed feelings about this because it takes pretty much just as long as if you're doing it by hand. But since I sift 3 times, I just don't want to be sifting that long. That's a lot of sifting. So I just put it through there, and you have to kind of carefully shove something down there like a knife or something to keep it going. Like you can't put a bunch in there and walk away. You have to be feeding it in there, shoving a knife in there, or it will get stuck. So it's kind of annoying, but also kind of worth it if your arm gets tired. Okay, that goes on the end of your KitchenAid mixer. So you have to have a KitchenAid to use that attachment. If I'm using that, I do 2 through there, and then I do the last round of sifting by hand through a fine mesh sieve. This is my favorite. And then you need a whisk to push it through, because I can't just do that shaking thing. So I whisk it through and press it on in there so it goes through. Okay, then you'll need something to put the egg whites in. I use KitchenAid. I mean, not now. Now I use a giant Hobart mixer, but before, up until I opened the shop, I used just a KitchenAid mixer, and I love that. So I've done either the stainless steel bowl or the glass bowl. Same results for me, doesn't matter. Then you'll need a good heavy duty spatula. So these are my favorite spatulas. You really want something that will not snap. I have snapped a spatula before folding. Okay, because if you're doing double or triple batches, you have to worry about your handle snapping. So these are the spatulas I like to do the folding. Okay, so I use egg whites just from eggs. I don't use the carton egg whites because I found that they're not consistent, but there are some people in the Facebook group that love the carton egg whites, but it's kind of brand specific. So kind of test different brands or go to the Facebook group and see what brands they're using. But I have found the best results in just using regular eggs and cracking them and separating them from the yolks. Okay, so then after you whip those up, you're gonna fold in your almond flour with the spatula. Then you need piping bags and tips. These are my favorite piping bags and tips for doing just the regular circle macarons. I like the 18-inch piping bag and the number 12 tip. Those are my favorite. Okay, then you pipe it out onto, I like slip mats. So here are the slip mats that I like. Parchment is also an option. I don't like parchment because the shells get a wavy bottom and they don't stay circle. Okay, but if you do use parchment, make sure you're actually using parchment and not wax paper, because they look kind of alike. So just don't use that. Just make sure you use parchment. Okay, and the trays that I like. But the trays aren't as important. And these are the trays that I baked on when I was baking out of a home oven, and it was a gas oven that was not a good oven. Okay, so this is what worked for me. No edges, because I had a gas oven, so I needed something that could get the airflow in there. So these are the brands I used and loved when I baked in my home kitchen with a gas oven, and then also with electric. Okay, and then the most important part, you know what I'm gonna say? An oven thermometer. An oven thermometer. An oven thermometer. An oven thermometer. Sorry. Okay, and then this was really helpful for me when I was baking at home, but a rack to put the trays on. So I had very limited space when I baked in an apartment, so I stacked up. So I would put my trays on this rack. I don't know if this is the best place to buy it, but you could look at one of your restaurant supply stores or something like that, and just any kind of rack that you can put them on to cool and to dry, so you're not putting them around your counter and all over your kitchen. Okay, so that's helpful, but not totally necessary. If you want to see more videos like this one, hit the subscribe button and the bell next to it to be notified whenever I come out with a new video. So then you'll need to do the filling, and that is just your KitchenAid mixer. And you can use these pastry bags that you use for the batter, or you can just use a gallon Ziploc bag and cut the tip off. It depends if you're trying to do like a fancy filling or not. Okay, then sandwich them together. Now storing. These are my favorite things to store them in because they're cheap. You can throw them out after a couple uses if you want, or you can keep them for a while, but these are my favorite things to store them in. But you can also use something like this. So all of this stuff I'm going to link in the description, and then you can go and just click on the link and buy it there if you want. Okay, now I'm going to talk about food coloring. I say this all the time in my live videos, but I use liquid food coloring. Even though a lot of people say absolutely do not use liquid food coloring with your macarons, I just love it. It's my favorite. So I use Kroger brand, but if you don't have a Kroger near you, I will link some in the description that look and are just like this. Okay, so I like to get the regular one and a neon. See, like that. But you can use gel, you can use powder. I'll put some links in some that I like. But liquid is just my favorite. But if you're just starting, don't use liquid. Don't use anything if you're just starting, but maybe try gel first and powdered. Okay, if you're enjoying this video, let me know by hitting the like button below. For ingredients, I've been asked a lot where I buy my bulk ingredients. So I go to Costco, but even Costco doesn't have bulk like white chocolate chips or stuff like that. So I use this site. Okay, you can buy bulk, you can buy bins to store your ingredients, you can buy a lot of stuff here. I'm not sponsored, of course. They're spatulas. I get my spatulas here too. Oh, paintbrushes. Okay, so painting on macarons. I like to use these paintbrushes with these palettes and these paints. I will link all of this stuff in the description below, but those are my favorite for doing like these macarons. But if you're doing like the watercolor macarons, you can use the liquid food coloring or a gel food coloring with some water or vodka added. And I like these paintbrushes. I've tested them for a while and I think I like them, but also just use whatever you like. These are just ones that I've been trying to test out and I like because I want a really fine tip paintbrush. And these edible markers are something I use a lot and they last a really long time. They're not super fine tip, but they're perfect for writing and outlining and stuff like that. These are super fine tip and they run out very easily, but when they're working, they're great. For macaron packaging, go to this video and I talk about my favorite macaron boxes and bags. If you're still having trouble making macarons, go to the Michelle's Macarons Facebook group, post a picture of every step along the way, and we will all help you make better macarons. If you'd like, you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and I'll put those links below. Check out these other macaron videos. Okay, love you, bye.